Hi everyone, it's Andy Pancioli here with a very important message. But firstly, I want to wish you all very happy holidays, and for those of you who celebrate Christmas, I hope you've had a wonderful time. Now, I'm back in the UK after several trips to the United States over the last 4 weeks, starting with a trip to Las Vegas for the Formula One Grand Prix. Yesterday I returned from New York, having seen clients over the last few days, and 10 days ago I was in Los Angeles. And why am I telling you all this? Well, the one thing that struck me is that America is in huge change. The sentiment and atmosphere are incredible following the elections. Not only that, in the world, the Ukrainian situation is escalating massively, with Russia now threatening to launch intercontinental ballistic missiles. And if you've been watching the situation closely, then you'll note that Ukraine launched a 9/11 style attack on Russia into one of the big buildings there. So, this is really escalating, and that attack on Russia was used with weapons provided by NATO. So whether we like it or not, wherever we are in the West, we are involved in this. The world is at a real tipping point, regardless of where you live. And this is why it's really important. Now we're seeing a huge escalation in the Middle East as well. Turkey is becoming involved with the situation in Syria, and Israel continues its military operations as other Middle Eastern countries also escalate activities. You've known about these world war cycles. They are really more than simmering away now. So, a lot of you have asked me, what's going on? What's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of years? And I'm going to cover that shortly. But with regards to markets, here's what we're looking at right now. The S&P 500 has recently come down from its all-time highs. In fact, the move on the 18th of December was the largest down move in 4 years. The low came in exactly as forecast in the latest market timing report. And remember, one thing's really important. We've been in a bull market since 2009, albeit with that 2020 correction. If you're under the age of 35, you won't have seen a proper bear market. Bitcoin, that didn't even exist back then in 2009. Bitcoin is significantly down from its all-time high, around 15% at the moment. And the dollar is very, very strong, and Trump is clearly injecting confidence into the economy. We predicted this in our newsletter, and followers of the market timing report were prepared. Recently, the Fed cut rates as expected, but a huge market crash followed, reflecting investors' lack of confidence in the current economy. It's almost as most investors are just waiting for a reason to sell. Meanwhile, Warren Buffett is accumulating billions in cash. He is moving into cash. Now, this is the sage of Omaha. We know that this is important. Look to see what these guys are doing. The general consensus is the Western world is heading for a huge economic recession. Meanwhile, stocks like Amazon, Apple are at all-time highs, and Nvidia has just pulled back. In fact, on a personal level, I'm seeing an increasing number of friends and family who've been reaching out to me over the last 4 weeks saying, should I buy Bitcoin? And 2 weeks ago, one of the most intelligent men I know, I've known him for well over 30 years. We've grown up together in different industries, and he ended up as the president of one of the world's biggest oil companies. He's a very successful man. And he called me up and said, Andy, everybody's telling me to get into Bitcoin. What do you think? And I was like, John, you know oil better than anybody else. Just stick to what you know. So, but that to me was a warning sign. Everybody's an expert on Bitcoin. Everybody's getting into it. Gold and silver have been rallying, and they've been very volatile. Meanwhile, crude oil and the grains have taken a beating. So one thing is for sure, looking back over the last year, nearly all the financial gurus and talking heads were completely incorrect. At the beginning of last year, sentiment-wise, they were all very bearish. Directional sentiment was, everyone was calling for a recession. Everyone was calling for a crash. Everyone was ready for wars and a state of fear. If you listen to this pundits, you would have missed out on some of the best performing years of the S&P 500. Meanwhile, at the market timing report, we were very clear in our outlook. In our year ahead report, we'd already let you know that the markets were going to have a tremendous year. We predicted this end of year move up. And here's what has happened. So here we go. You can see very clearly in these charts what exactly happened. And this was our forecast here. And this is what the markets did. And you can see how things moved up from there from August. So, and the other thing is we did tell you in the year ahead report last year, we'll be releasing the 2025 year ahead report shortly. But you can see that years ending in 4 are bullish. So, that again came out very clearly. So, also at the Masterclass we held last December 2023, we pointed out that this was going to be potentially a bullish year. So what's coming up? Well, why am I doing this video? One of the main reasons I'm doing this video is for this. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much depth, but there is always a time for optimism and there's a time for caution. And I believe we're now entering the latter. And there are several cycles and indicators that I personally use that have been throwing warning signs, warning after warning at me, telling me we're entering a window when we need to be looking at capital presentation. And here is why. And this is the reason we postponed the masterclass, by the way, from December to January, so we can get a better handle on this. This is our histogram system. Look at this. This is the monthly chart. This is the biggest peak, and we are about to enter it right now. So we are in the danger zone. It's coming up on us immediately. And so this is why I wanted to focus on this. I wanted to be able to fine-tune this and have the smaller cycles in line, which we didn't have at the beginning of December. I think I've already mentioned to you about the modern day revolution. Well, I know I've already mentioned it to you. Empires often last 250 years. Let's be under no illusion. We will soon be coming into the 250-year mathematical cycle from 1776. That is 2026. We are in the prelude. A 250-year cycle has a big build-up. It doesn't just all happen in a week. And you can see now exactly how I've been warning you since 2016, how this transformation is playing out. Like it or not, America is in for a big change. And remember what I've always said, and the world says, when America sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. However, in markets, even if you're correct and you're too early, then you're wrong. The legendary Howard Marks, a billionaire there, is Oak Tree Capital. Being too far ahead of your time is indistinguishable from being wrong. So, how do you take advantage of this volatility that's coming up down the road? We are about to run our live masterclass in January, and the specific intention of this masterclass is not only to take advantage of this forthcoming scenario that most people will miss, but also prepare you for what is probably going to be one of the greatest trading opportunity years for us all. So remember, Joe Public, volatility will be up. Joe Public will get hammered. They always do. We will be ahead of the game. With this in mind, the masterclass will run on 2 separate dates. It's a 2-part event. The first date is Friday, the 3rd of January. And the second date will be 1 week later on Friday, the 10th January. Why? I'm putting them apart because I really want to hone in on what's happening with the markets. We'll be watching them very carefully. Remember, nothing's guaranteed, but everything we do at the Market Timing Report is about incremental gains and getting the odds on your side. So we'll be recapping and honing in on the tools that we use within our Market Timing Report. These are the tools of the Market Timing Report trading system, the trading course. The tools enable us to take full advantage of the timing and means that we can manage risk far more effectively. That's the whole point. We've got the timing windows. I know some of you say, look, I don't know how to use this report. But this is how you use it. You use it with these tools. Many of you use it with your own system, and that's fine. And I know it works incredibly well for you. I know people who subscribe to this report. Some are managing billions. Some are managing, tens and hundreds of millions. And I know from one-on-one feedback that you've done very well out of this timing system. So we're going to be building on everything we talked about over the last year. In addition to that, for the first time ever, we're going to bring in the leverage of our new advanced seasonality platform. Now, for those of you who already have it, I've got a gift for you. Very soon, you're going to be seeing an upgrade to this system at no additional cost. We just bring it in there. We're acting on feedback, and I'm very excited, and I hope to be able to reveal that to you very shortly. And this system will help uncover more hidden insights and valuable opportunities that are massively tradable. We'll be applying our laser-focused techniques to the markets as we see them right now. And for those of you who trade medium to long term, we'll also look at what the smart money is doing. We'll take a deep dive into what's coming up in 2025. And more importantly, you will walk away from this event with highly actionable trading plans to set up yourself for success. This masterclass is a fraction of what we charge our institutional clients for our consultancy services. A lot of you have contacted me for personal consultancy this year, but I'm sorry, I just haven't been able to fit it in due to the commitments I have to the funds. And as you know, I speak to the government and the military as well. However, this right now is the best way for you to get direct access to me. You will have the chance to learn from me live. Ask me questions. You can send your questions in. We'll deliver those each day. Kim Burke, who was with us last time, she'll be back with us as well, acting and sort of comparing the whole event. She's a very accomplished trader. So, you'll be able to ask all these questions. As I say, you'll be alongside some other very smart, very, very smart people who'll be joining us live in this cohort as well. And don't worry if you can't make it live. We're going to be recording it. I just want to allay your fears. This is so important. We are going to record it. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing you all there. I believe we're in a critical time window. There are some dates coming up shortly that you really need to be aware of. You can see that monthly histogram spike is huge. This could be a very critical tipping point. It's certainly a window in which you need to protect your investments. The decisions you make now will set the stage for how your portfolios perform in 2025. And whilst people are unplugging, disconnecting in holiday mode, take this opportunity to create your plan for the next year right now. Remember, forewarned is forearmed. So purchase your ticket now to get full access to the Market Timing Report trading course and system at a heavily discounted price, as well as attending the January 2025 Masterclass. You will be fully prepared for what lies ahead.